Hare Krishna. So now we'll be reading from Adhyatma Ramayana. We'll be starting from the first canto, that is the Baala Kanda. So last session we saw the glories of the Mahatmya of Adhyatma Ramayana. So today we'll be starting with Adhyatma Ramayana. Om Ajnanathimiraandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here we are going to see the Baala Kanda, that is Canto 1, the Rama Hridaya, the essential nature of Lord Ramachandra. So let us pray to Lord Ramachandra and Mata Sita, Lakshmana and Hanuman ji to shower their blessings on us so that we can read this Adhyatma Ramayana with faith and with full faith and devotion and take their blessings and accept Lord Ramachandra and Mother Sita and all his associates in our heart. Lokabhiramam pranaram kadiram Rajivanetram Praghuvamshanatham Karunyarupam Karunakarantam Shri Ramachandram Sharanam Prapatye. The Rama Hridaya. So I'll be reading the translation. I worship Janaki Natha, Sri Rama, the Lord who is almighty, intelligent and independent, who has manifested on the surface of this earth in the sun rays or the Surya Vamsha as a human-like image at the behest of gods to remove the burden of this earth, and who, having slayed the hosts of demons and having established a stable and steady fame and glory which is capable of destroying sins, had once again merged in his original eternal absolute form of the Brahman. I bow my head to Sitapati, who is an expert in the knowledge of the essence and elementary principles, who is the only cause of the beginning, existence, and annihilation of the universe, who is beyond Maya, in spite of being its abode, whose form cannot be imagined, who is a treasure of bliss, peace, and tranquility, who is without faults, reproof, or honors, and who is self-illuminated. Those persons who daily and regularly read or hear with due concentration and devotion this treatise called Adhyatma Ramayana, which is pristine, pure, sublime, and has the divine sanctity of the various Puranas, become free of sins and attain Lord Hari. If anyone wishes to get liberation from the shackles of this mundane world, then he should regularly read this Adhyatma Ramayana daily. Those people who listen to it regularly get the fruit equivalent to donating millions of cows, having emerged from the mountain represented by Shiva and flowing in the Rama-like ocean. This river, represented by Adhyatma Ramayana, purifies the three worlds. Once upon a time, on the summit of Mount Kailash, in an auspicious place which has the splendor and majesty equivalent to hundreds of suns, was seated the Lord with the three eyes, that is Lord Shiva, on a gem-studded throne in a meditative posture, surrounded by crowds of siddhas. He is always fearless, is the remover of all sins, is the root of all bliss, peace, and tranquility, and is the Lord of all the gods. On his left was seated Mother Parvati, the daughter of Giriraj, of Giri, which she said the following words most humbly, prayerfully, and full of devotion. Parvati said, O Lord, O the abode of the world, I bow before you with folded hands. You are a witness of the inner thoughts of all and of the Supreme Lord. I want to ask you about the elementary, eternal, and absolute truth about Sri Purushottama because you are also eternal and truth. Great souls disclose to their ardent followers even the greatest of secrets, which are not fit to be divulged to others. O Lord, I am also your devotee. You are most dear to me. Hence, describe all that I had asked you. That wisdom which helps a person to cross over this world like ocean, a knowledge which is self illuminating and self radiant, which is steeped in devotion and renunciation, and which leads to self realization. Please narrate it to me with logic and expertise, using a simple language and few words so that I can easily understand, grasp it, in spite of my being a woman. So this is a very beautiful prayer by Mother Parvati, and this is exactly the same thing she asked Lord Shiva in the Vishnu Sahasranam. So she being the mother of this entire creation, she's very soft-hearted, and she wants all her children in this material world to be purified and go back to the Lord's eternal abode. And she prays to Lord Shiva, please tell me, you explain this entire Vishnu Sahasranam. I don't think my children are capable of doing this. So tell me an easy way of them attaining the full benefit of this chanting this Vishnu Sahasranam in a very small way, in a easy way. And then it is then Lord Shiva tells Mother Parvati, Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasra Nama Tatulyam Rama Nama Varanane. The Rama's name, or the holy name of Lord Ramachandra, is equivalent to Sahasranam. So this is how the mother's heart is. She wants the children to be easily benefited. So this is exactly what she is asking here to Lord Shiva. O the lotus-eyed one, Lord Shiva, I ask you one most secret of mysteries. Please describe this. It is well established that pristine, pure, true, uncorrupted devotion, dedication, and submission for Sri Rama, whose essence of all the world is like a strong and sturdy boat for crossing his ocean like mundane world. To free oneself from the shackles of this mundane artificial world, devotion, submission, and worship are the only famed way. There is no better way to do it than this. So that is the glory of bhakti. In spite of that, please pierce the sack of doubts, confusions in my heart with your pure spit-like words. The Siddhas, who are devoid of mistakes and are wise, call Sri Rama the most exalted, supreme being, matchless, the primordial cause of all that exists, and as being beyond the attributes associated with nature, that is, he is beyond trigunas, while at the same time they attain the supreme state of his holy feet by worshipping and adoring him day and night. So the great Siddhas, they also worship Sri Lord Ramachandra. But some say that despite being the supreme absolute Lord, Sri Rama did not realize the nature of his true self because of being covered by Maya. This is why he had to listen to discourses by Guru Vasishta and others in order to understand or realize the truth about his own real self. So this is usually what we hear from people. Uh, they consider Lord Ramachandra as a normal human being who can be captured by Maya. So this is the exact question which Mother Parvati is asking Lord Shiva now. So we'll get a good answer for this. Hence, I want to know that if he was aware about the elementary truth of existence and the truthful, real nature of the pure self, why then did he woefully lament for Sita so much? And if he was not a self-realized and attained soul, then he was like other ordinary mortal beings. Why then should he be worshipped, adored, and honored? What is your view in this matter? Please tell me in a language consisting of simple words so that my doubts and confusions are dispelled. This is very beautiful. So there is nothing to speculate in Adhyatma Ramayana because Lord Shiva is saying it in very simple words. Lord Shiva said, O goddess, you are the blessed one. You are a great devotee of the supreme absolute truth that you wish to know about the essential or elementary truth about the true nature of Lord Ramachandra. Before this, no one had asked me to describe his most difficult and mysterious secret. Today, you have earnestly asked me with due reverence. Hence, I shall answer your question after praying and paying obeisances to Sri Rama. Sri Rama is without doubt beyond the three gunas or beyond this material nature. Is without a beginning, is an abode or treasury of bliss, peace, and tranquility, is matchless and fearless, and is the best and the most supreme, exalted, absolute Lord. He has created this world out of his own Maya and is present inside and outside of it like the sky, like the space which is encompassed all and is encompassed by all. So it is like the space which is within and which is outside also. So he is present inside and outside of it like the sky. He lives inside all creatures in the form of microcosmic soul or Atma, that is the Paramatma, from where he governs this world, even as an inert piece of iron, even as an inert piece of iron becomes active when in contact with a magnet, so do this world always moves around aimlessly by the mere wish of his power called Maya. Those idiots or ignorant ones whose hearts are covered by a sheath of ignorance do not recognize that supreme absolute soul called Rama. So Lord Shiva is describing the Paramatma, Lord Ramachandra as the Paramatma. Those fools and ignorant ones impose their ignorance and stupidity even on the Lord, who is beyond delusion and who is most pure and most wise. Such lowly fools who are always engrossed in wife and sons remain busy without remain busy in various worldly deeds, as a result of which they always remain doomed in the cycle of birth and death in this mundane, artificial, delusory world. Those ignorant and stupid fools do not recognize the supreme soul called Rama, who reside in their heart, even as they are not aware of the wooden griddle of beads lying around their neck. As a matter of fact, like darkness cannot exist inside the sun, ignorance too cannot survive or live inside the most exalted, supreme, and absolute God, who is the most exalted and supreme soul called Sri Rama, who is beyond the nature, beyond the material nature, who is the treasury or abode of the most purest of knowledge, and is an embodiment of enlightenment and wisdom. Even as the walls of a room and other objects seem to go around and round in circles in front of the eyes when one spins around, the people similarly accuse the Atma for the good or bad effects of deeds done by their bodies and sense organs, and thereby get trapped in a vortex of illusions. Even as the splendor and illumination of the sun is never violated, and there is no distinction between day and night with it, how can both jnana and ajnana live or exist simultaneously in Sri Rama, who is a treasure or font of pure consciousness? Hence, there is not even a fraction of ignorance, confusion, or doubt in Sri Rama, who is an embodiment of pure bliss, peace, and tranquility, who is a treasury of enlightenment and true knowledge, who is a witness of the existence of ignorance and is lotus eyed. Hence, he is the creator of Maya, and hence he is the creator of Maya, Maya which cannot attract him. O Parvati, this subject I shall tell you the conversation. On this subject I shall tell you the conversation between Sita, Sri Rama, and Hanuman, which is a medium of attaining emancipation, and salvation, and which is a great secret and very difficult to know. In an earlier era, during one of Sri Rama's incarnation, when he had slain the demon Ravana, who was like a thorn for the gods, along with his sons, armies, and mons, and then had returned to Ayodhya, accompanied by Sita, Sugriva, Lakshmana, Hanuman, and other monkeys, he was crowned there and surrounded by Vashishta and other sages and seers. He sat on the throne and looked as splendorous and glorious as crores of suns. At that time, Hanuman, who had finished all the services assigned to him and did not want anything in return as a reward for his service, and was wise and eager to learn, stood before him with folded hands. Seeing him, Sri Rama said to Sita, "O Sita, this fellow Hanuman is greatly devoted and dedicated to both of us. He is without sins and is worthy of acquiring the true, essential, supreme, absolute knowledge called Jnana. Therefore, you should teach him the elementary and essential truth about my true nature." Then Sita, who is the daughter of Janaka and who cast her delusionary spell on the world, said, "All right," to Sri Rama and began to narrate the essence of Sri Rama to Hanuman, who had sought their refuge in search of true knowledge. Sita said, so here Sita Devi is explaining the true nature of Lord Ramachandra to Hanuman. Sita said, "O son Hanuman, you should recognize Sri Rama as the supreme Brahman, who is sublime, real, truthful, matchless, fearless, supreme soul, and who is the treasury, abode of eternal bliss, happiness, peace, and tranquility. Without doubt, he is devoid of any or all honors or attributes, is the only and exclusive authority, is not the subject matter of mind, intellect, and sense organs. It is a treasury of bliss, joy, peace, and tranquility, is most pure and holy, is without any faults and reproof, is Niranjana, faultless, is all pervading, omnipresent, self illuminated, and a Paramatma, who is without any sins, blemishes, or evils. And you must recognize me, that is Sita Devi, she herself says, you must recognize me, Sita, as the pristine, sublime nature behind creation, sustenance, and annihilation. Indeed, I create this delusionary world in conjunction with him, Lord Rama, without any let up or indolence. In spite of it, the stupid and ignorant people charge him of being the creator of this creation of mine, which I have done myself by simply being near to him. So his taking birth in Ayodhya is in the most pure clan of Raghu, then helping sage Vishwamitra by protecting his fire sacrifice, liberating Ahalya from a curse, and breaking the bow of Lord Shiva were all due to my influence or wish. Thereafter, he betrothed me, demolished the vanity and haughtiness of sage Parashurama, and stayed with me for 12 years in Ayodhya. Then he went to the Dantakaranya forest, slayed Viradha, killed Marichi in the form of a decoy, a golden deer, and unreal Sita was then abducted by Ravana. Then Jadayu and Kabanda, who was a demon, were liberated. The Lord was worshipped by Shabari, and thereafter he befriended Sugriva. Thereafter Bali was slain, Sita was searched, a bridge was constructed over the ocean, and Lanka was besieged. Then he, Sri Rama, slayed the evil Ravana along with his sons in the war. Vibhishna was crowned on the throne of Lanka, and then he returned by the Pushpaka plain back to Ayodhya along with me, Sita. He was enthroned on the throne of Ayodhya. Though all these events were done by me, the ignorant and foolish people allege or claim that they were done by Sri Rama, who is faultless, uniform, supreme soul, who resides in all. This Rama, in fact, does not walk, nor stop, nor feel remorse or sorrowful, nor have any desires or wants, nor renounces or abandons, nor does any other deed or activity. He is an embodiment of bliss, peace, and tranquility. He is stable, unwavering, and constant, and is without reward or results. It is only due to the influence or effect of Maya that he appears to be such. So very beautifully explained by Mother Sita. So yeah, Mother Sita, she says that it was not she who was actually abducted by Ravana, but it was Maya, Chaya's Sita. So we know about this, and so before Ravana abducted Mother Sita, she went, she requested Agni Deva. Agni Deva took the real Sita Devi, and he produced the Chaya Sita, the illusory Sita Devi in front of Ravana. So Ravana actually abducted the Chaya Sita, and finally at the end, when after the war, when Ravana was killed, when Lord Ramachandra asked Sita Devi to enter the fire, uh, we all think that it is to test Mother Sita, but then yes, that was also one small reason, but the major reason was Chaya Sita. She entered the fire, and the actual Sita, who was protected by Agni Deva, she was returned back to Lord Ramachandra. So this is what Mother Sita says here. So this Rama, in fact, doesn't. Okay. After that, Sri Rama himself addressed Hanuman, who was standing in front of him. I shall tell you the essential truth of the Atma and Paramatma. Atma, Anatma, and Paramatma. So Atma basically means the pure spirit, pure consciousness, and Anatma is something which is not related to the Atma. Maybe it is like the matter, not the spirit, not spirit. So it must be matter, and Paramatma, the supreme consciousness. Listen carefully. In a body of water, three different aspects of space are clearly visible. First is the Mahakash, the space which is all pervading and omnipresent. The second is the water specific sky, the sky or space limited to that particular body of water. And the third is Pratibhimba, the sky which is reflected from the water's surface body. Okay, so Lord Ramachandra is speaking of three aspects of space. The space which exists in the entire cosmic creation, that is the Mahakash. And the second one is the Akash, or the space within that particular water body. And the third Akash is the sky which is reflected on the water body. Similarly, consciousness is of three types. One that pervades and is inherent to the intellect and discriminatory faculty. The second is that which is all pervading and complete in all respects. The third is that which is reflected from the intellect and discrimination faculty of the creatures, which is called image or shadow, Chetana. Out of the three, the mind and intellect is activated by the influence of the third type of Chetana only. But the foolish, ignorant ones think out of their delusion and ignorance that the uniform, faultless, eternally truthful soul is both the doer as well as the enjoyer of the fruits or rewards of the deeds of the action. That which we call Jiva, the living being, the soul, pure consciousness, has no shadow or reflected Chetana, because reflection or shadow is always illusory and misleading. Ignorance causes the deceptive and misleading senses of being wise, knowing, and intelligent. The Supreme Soul is without a part, hence, to consider it as being more than one indivisible entity is erroneous and fallacious, and is also due to this ignorant intellect exercise. This is the reason why the indivisible soul or the self is regarded synonymous with the macrocosmic soul, and former is addressed with qualifying adjectives used for the latter. When one acquires the awareness of the basic elementary truth of oneness of the soul and the Supreme Soul, by understanding the implications of the great Mahakavyas, at that moment, ignorance, along with its delusory effects and incumbent actions, indeed become defunct. There is no doubt about it. My devotee, having understood or realized the truth behind my essential form, nature or being becomes eligible to become one with me. But those people who abandon my bhakti and fall in the deep pit of scriptural knowledge do not get to know the truth, nor are they able to have emancipation and salvation. O the faultless and sinless one, this top secret knowledge or mystery is like my heart, for I am nothing else but another form of the soul. What more it is me myself who have told you all this. Even if you are enticed with a bait of getting wealth, which is equal to or more than the kingdom of Indra, you must not tell this to a wicked, pervert, and uncourteous person. Lord Shiva said, O goddess, that is, he is addressing Mother Parvati, I have told you this so-called Rama Hridaya, which is most secret or mysterious, one which conquers the heart, is most pure and is an eliminator or destroyer of all sins. This is the essence of the entire gamut of Vedanta and its philosophy, and is enunciated by Lord Rama himself. Anyone who reads it with devotion, conviction, and diligence is sure to attain liberation from the shackles tying him to this mundane, artificial, and delusory world. By mere reading it, many accumulated great sins of many previous births, such as harming other creatures, etc., are surely destroyed, because this is what Sri Rama has said himself. Those who are most corrupt, depraved, most sinful are always earning for and indulge in the wealth of in the wealth and women of others, are thieves, are killers, are planning the murder of their parents and harm the interest of yogis. If anyone among such sinful and pervert persons worship Sri Rama and reads the holy verses of this Rama Hridaya with devotion, conviction, and faith, then he attains that supreme stature which is worshipped and adored by even the gods, and which state is difficult even for the most exalted yogis to attain or access. So with this, we come to the end of this chapter, the first canto of the Baala Kanda. So thank you so much for joining. So the next session we'll start with the second chapter. Hare Krishna. Mancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Kodi Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Adhyatma Ramayana ki jai. Srila Prabhupada jai.